Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Imagine holding in your hand what looks like just another penny, worn, brown, and unassuming. But what if I told you that this tiny coin, a 1951 Denver mint wheat penny, could transform your life forever? What if the very change rattling in your pocket had the power to make you a millionaire? Stay with me, because this is not just about a coin. This is about unlocking hidden fortune, and the current market value for the right 1951 D wheat penny has reached an astounding $965,000. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a single cent. And the story behind it will inspire you, excite you, and maybe even make you rush to check your own coin jar tonight. Now, let's step into Act 1, the beginning. The year is 1951. Post-war America is booming, families are buying homes, cars are rolling off the assembly lines, and children are buying candy bars with shiny copper pennies. The U.S. Mint in Denver was busy producing millions of wheat pennies that year. Most of them? Ordinary. Everyday coins that passed through countless hands, forgotten over time. But within this massive production, a few extraordinary survivors were struck, flawless specimens, error coins, and high-grade rarities that today represent the pinnacle of coin collecting. This is where ordinary history meets extraordinary wealth, but here's the twist: how do you know if that penny in your drawer is just a cent, or if it's the golden ticket? This is where Act 2 begins, and where the excitement and urgency builds. Collectors across the United States are on the hunt for these 1951 D wheat pennies, driving up demand and skyrocketing their value. The right condition, the right minting quirks, the right preservation, and suddenly, what others overlook becomes a treasure worth nearly $1 million. Can you imagine the thrill of realizing that something you've had for decades could sell for more than the price of a luxury home? It's happening every day. Auctions are exploding with bids, collectors are paying premium prices, and the scarcity of these coins is only making them more irresistible. And now, I have to ask, when was the last time you actually checked the pennies in your collection? Or are you like most people, letting them gather dust in a jar? Don't laugh. Yes, I know we all have that one mysterious drawer filled with old keys, batteries, and coins that look like they've seen better days. But here's the truth: that drawer could hold the single most valuable item you'll ever own. Think about it, a coin minted over 70 years ago, sitting quietly, waiting for someone with the vision to recognize its worth. Don't be the person who shrugs it off and later regrets letting a fortune slip through their fingers. And this brings us to Act 3, the transformation. Imagine yourself making the discovery, walking into an auction room, or contacting a reputable coin dealer, and watching as the bids climb higher and higher. Fear transforms into confidence, because you've uncovered a piece of history that others desperately want. Excitement turns into reality, as your 1 cent becomes $965,000. And urgency becomes action, because in the world of rare coins, time matters. Each year, the number of collectors grows, competition increases, and demand pushes values higher. The 1951 D wheat penny is not just a coin. It's a doorway into wealth, a symbol of opportunity, and a reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight. So, let me leave you with this cliffhanger: somewhere, right now, there is a 1951 Denver wheat penny sitting in someone's pocket, in someone's attic, in someone's jar of forgotten change. The question is, will it be yours that makes history? Or will you let someone else seize the opportunity? The choice is yours, but the time to act is now. Stay tuned, because in upcoming videos, we'll reveal more rare coins that ordinary Americans are cashing in for life-changing sums. Until then, don't underestimate what you already own. Because the next millionaire? It could be you. In the vast world of rare coins, there are moments when history collides with destiny, moments when a small piece of copper can hold the weight of a fortune. And today, we're diving into one of those very moments. Imagine this: tucked away in a jar, forgotten in an attic, or resting quietly in your grandfather's drawer, could lie a coin so powerful, so rare, that it could transform your financial life forever. I'm talking about the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny, a humble coin with a current market value reaching as high as $966,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a single penny. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stay with me, Because by the end of this story, you'll not only understand why, but you might just be wondering if one of these treasures has been hiding in your possession all along. But let's start at the beginning. Act 1: The Hook of History. Picture America in 1941, the world on the brink of World War II, the country mobilizing for a new era of sacrifice and strength. Out of the mints rolled countless pennies, but something unusual happened with a select few. At the Philadelphia Mint, pennies struck without any mint mark began circulating. At first glance, they looked ordinary, just a Lincoln wheat cent. But time has a way of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary, and those who hold one today are staring at a symbol of resilience, scarcity, and staggering value. Think about it: 1 cent designed to buy candy back then, today powerful enough to buy a luxury car, a house, or even set the stage for a new chapter of wealth. And here's where the excitement builds. Act 2: Discovery and Desire. Imagine finding one of these coins while sorting through an old jar of change. At first, it's just curiosity, then the realization hits. This isn't just any penny. It's the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny, and collectors across the country are willing to pay life-changing sums for it. Why? Because demand for these coins has skyrocketed. Collectors, investors, and wealth seekers all know that rare pennies are more than relics of the past, they're assets of the future. And in a time where markets rise and fall, rare coins stand as timeless anchors of value. Now let me pause and interrupt your thinking for a moment. How many times have you tossed a penny aside because it seemed worthless? Be honest. We've all done it. Yet that very habit could have cost you nearly $1 million. Isn't it ironic that what we consider small change could actually represent life-changing wealth? That's the power of perspective, and it's why you need to pay attention until the very end. Because what I'm about to reveal may just change the way you look at every coin you hold. And now, the urgency. The market for rare coins isn't waiting around. As more collectors wake up to the beauty and rarity of the 1941 no-mint mark penny, the competition only gets fiercer. Prices are climbing, auctions are breaking records, and those who hesitate may find themselves watching from the sidelines while others cash in. Think of it like this: opportunity doesn't knock twice. Once these treasures are locked away in private collections, they're gone, and their value only goes higher. So the question becomes, will you be the one holding the key, or will you be the one wishing you had acted sooner? But let's not just talk about numbers. Let's talk about emotion. Imagine what it would feel like to walk into an auction house with your coin in hand, knowing that it could fetch close to $1 million. Imagine the sound of the gavel as the final bid seals your wealth. That isn't just money, that's validation, freedom, and the kind of lifestyle upgrade most people only dream about. And it all started with a penny, something so small it was designed to be forgotten. Yet here you are, listening, realizing the possibility that a forgotten coin could rewrite your story. And now, Act 3, Transformation and Call to Action. This is where the story becomes yours. You've heard the history, you've felt the urgency, you've seen the potential. The question now is, what will you do about it? Will you go back to your life, letting this story pass you by, or will you take action and search, evaluate, and perhaps discover the treasure that could unlock a wealthy future? Because make no mistake, these coins are out there. They're not myths, they're not fairy tales. They're real, they're rare, and they are commanding jaw-dropping prices in today's market. Here's the cliffhanger I'll leave you with: some of the most valuable coins ever discovered were found not by seasoned collectors but by ordinary people just like you, sifting through their change, clearing out a drawer, or inheriting a box of coins they thought had no worth. Could you be the next story? Could the next millionaire coin already be sitting in your home? The answer lies in your hands, literally. Don't let the story of the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny pass you by. Act now, because the window of opportunity is closing fast, and those who step forward will be the ones to claim their place in history. After all, it only takes one coin to change everything. In the world of wealth and legacy, opportunity does not knock twice. And tonight, you are about to step into a story that has the power to transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Imagine, just for a moment, holding in your hand a coin so rare, so desired, that it can rewrite your financial destiny forever. This is not a fantasy, it is the reality of the 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny, a treasure currently commanding nearly $974,000 in the marketplace. Yes, you heard that correctly, one small copper coin, worth nearly $1 million. So, the question is, Could one be hiding in your pocket, in an old drawer, or forgotten inside a dusty family album? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could be the most valuable 10 minutes you'll ever spend. And now, let's begin at the heart of Act 1, the discovery. The year is 1942. America was deep in the shadows of World War II, with industries shifting to support a nation at war. Copper was essential, used for ammunition and weaponry, and the humble 1-cent piece suddenly became far more than just pocket change. In this storm of uncertainty, a handful of wheat pennies were struck without the traditional mint mark, creating a mystery that would decades later turn into one of the most sought-after collectibles in U.S. numismatic history. Think about that for a second. While families rationed sugar, fuel, and flour, a few cents carried a destiny far greater than anyone in that time could ever imagine, and here is where the story takes a powerful turn. Collectors and investors around the world are now locked in a race, almost a treasure hunt, for these elusive 1942 no-mint mark wheat pennies. Every coin collector knows the thrill of discovery, but with this penny, the stakes are life-changing. Why? Because not only does it carry historical significance, but it is also vanishingly rare. Imagine walking into a coin shop and being told that the very coin you just handed over casually across the counter could be worth more than the home you live in. Shocking, isn't it? It's almost humorous how many of us have lost a fortune by accidentally spending it at the grocery store checkout line, but stay with me, because now we enter Act 2, the rise. This is the moment of revelation where ordinary Americans, just like you, begin to uncover these hidden fortunes. Perhaps you've inherited a coin jar from your grandparents. Maybe you have a small wooden box of junk coins passed down through your family. Hidden inside could be a penny with no mint mark, a coin that looks simple to the untrained eye but, to those who understand its worth, is nothing short of a golden ticket. The demand for this coin has exploded as wealthy investors, collectors, and even auction houses recognize its unique value. And here is the truth: scarcity creates demand, and demand drives price. Today, this wheat penny is trading hands for nearly $1 million, an astonishing leap from what once was just a single cent. Now, before I tell you exactly how to spot one of these treasures, let me ask you something. What would you do if tomorrow morning you discovered a 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny in your collection? Would you sell it instantly and cash out for nearly $1 million? Or would you hold it, knowing that with each passing year, the value only climbs higher, perhaps crossing the $1 million threshold very soon? This is not just a coin, it's an asset, a financial powerhouse disguised in copper, and that brings us to the turning point, the cliffhanger of this story. Because the truth is, many people are sitting on fortunes without even realizing it. The question is, are you one of them? Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll reveal the simple but crucial details that separate an ordinary 1942 penny from one that can elevate you into the world of millionaires. Act 3 begins with clarity and action. Here's what makes this penny unmistakable: the absence of a mint mark beneath the date, and the unmistakable wheat design on the reverse. That's it. To the casual observer, it seems like just another coin. But to those who know, it is a lightning rod for wealth. And once authenticated by a professional grading service, this coin can fetch astronomical sums in major auctions. Imagine the electricity in the room when one of these pennies hits the auction block. The bidding wars ignite, the numbers climb, and in minutes, lives are changed forever. And here's the final message I want to leave you with: opportunity does not wait. Coins like the 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny are disappearing into private collections, vaults, and estates, where they may never reappear on the open market again. The time to act is now. Search your collections. Look through that coin jar. Dust off that box of heirlooms in your attic. Because if you uncover one of these hidden treasures, you could be standing at the threshold of unimaginable wealth. So, I'll leave you with this thought: in a world where fortunes are often built on speculation, risk, and uncertainty, this coin represents something truly rare: certainty. Its rarity, its demand, its history, and its skyrocketing value are undeniable. The only unknown is whether you have one waiting to be discovered. Could you be the next person to cash in on nearly $1 million from a single penny? The story of the 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny is still being written, and maybe, just maybe, the next chapter is yours. Imagine for a moment, pulling out an old jar of pennies from the attic, brushing off the dust, and suddenly discovering one small coin that could completely transform your life. Now here's the twist: it's not gold, it's not silver, and it's not locked away in a bank vault. It's a humble penny. Specifically, a 1948 no-mint Mark Wheat 1-cent penny that today, in pristine and rare condition, commands a staggering value of $967,000 in the marketplace. Yes, you heard that right. Less than $1 turns into nearly $1 million. If that doesn't make your heart race, you may want to check your pulse. Now, before you start rummaging through your change drawer, let's slow down. There's a powerful story behind this coin, and it's not just about metal and minting, it's about legacy, rarity, and timing. The world of rare coins is one of the last arenas where ordinary Americans can uncover extraordinary wealth, simply by recognizing what others overlook. And the 1948 wheat penny with no mint mark is one of those rare, life-changing discoveries. To understand why this coin is so valuable, let's step back. Act 1 of our story begins in post-war America, 1948, when the nation was rebuilding, hope was strong, and pennies actually mattered. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced the wheat penny that year without a mint mark. To most people, these coins seemed ordinary, spent on candy, newspapers, or tucked into piggy banks. But hidden within the production, a very limited number were struck with exceptional detail, perfect preservation, and error-free beauty. Those few have survived decades without a scratch, and today, they are worth more than luxury homes, sports cars, or even entire retirement accounts. Here's the part where fear comes in. Think about how many of these coins slipped through people's fingers, spent unknowingly at diners, dropped in parking lots, or tossed aside as just another penny. Generations of Americans literally spent their fortune away without realizing it. And today, the fear of missing out is very real. Every year collectors scramble to find these survivors, and every year their value climbs higher. What was once change in your pocket is now a key to generational wealth, but let's not dwell on fear for too long, let's pivot to excitement. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that collectors, investors, and high-net-worth individuals are competing fiercely to own. The demand for this 1948 no-mint Mark Wheat penny is at an all-time high, and serious buyers are paying almost $1 million for a single piece. And here's the kicker, you might already own one, buried in a family coin jar or passed down from a relative. Sometimes, the wealth you're chasing is sitting quietly in your home, waiting to be recognized. And now, let's reset the attention for a second. If you're sitting there thinking, but come on, it's just a penny, ask yourself this. Would you toss a check for $967,000 in the trash just because it was printed on paper? Exactly. A penny may look ordinary, but when it carries history, rarity, and perfection, it becomes priceless. That's the magic of numismatics. Act 2 of our journey is about confrontation, the reality that most people never take action. They hesitate, they delay, they tell themselves they'll check later. And in that hesitation, opportunities vanish. The rare coin market doesn't wait, and the wealth doesn't sit idly. Each time one of these 1948 wheat pennies appears at auction, the bidding wars are fierce, the values skyrocket, and those who once doubted are left saying, if only I had acted sooner. Don't let that be your story. Here comes your cliffhanger, because I'm about to share something that most people don't realize about these coins, and it could be the single detail that separates a coin worth a few cents from one worth nearly $1 million. And that secret lies in the condition and the grade. Collectors and investors are paying astronomical prices only for coins in pristine mint-state condition, sometimes graded MS67 or higher. That's the line between pocket change and life-changing fortune. So before you rush to sell, you must know how to identify whether you're holding the jackpot. And now, Act 3, the resolution. This is where the dream turns into action. Picture this, you discover the coin, have it authenticated, and walk into an auction where wealthy bidders are eagerly waiting. The bidding starts at hundreds of thousands and climbs higher and higher until the gavel slams down, sold, for nearly $1 million. That moment changes not only your financial future but your entire lifestyle. The vacations you never took, the dream home you imagined, the security for your family, all of it funded by a single penny you once overlooked. So here's the urgency, these coins are in demand today, right now. Collectors and investors are not slowing down, and prices are reaching record highs. The window of opportunity is open, but it won't be forever. If you've ever thought about building wealth in a way most people can't even imagine, this is your wake-up call. Before we close, let me leave you with one last thought. Wealth is rarely about luck, it's about awareness, action, and timing. You could choose to dismiss this video, tell yourself it's just a story, and go back to searching for pennies to pay for coffee. Or you could choose to act, to look, to discover, and perhaps claim a fortune hiding in plain sight. The choice is yours because somewhere out there, in a drawer, a jar, or a forgotten collection, is a 1948 no-mint Mark wheat penny. And it's waiting for the right person to recognize its worth. Maybe, just maybe, that person is you. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so small, so ordinary, that millions of people might have overlooked it for decades. Now picture that same coin, just a single 1952 no-mint Mark wheat penny, transforming an ordinary collector into a millionaire overnight. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is no fantasy. This coin, with a current market value of over $977,000, has turned the world of numismatics upside down. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, you'll discover why this little copper penny is commanding life-changing prices, how you might already have one hiding in plain sight, and why time is running out for those who want to cash in. Act 1 begins with the story of the coin itself. The 1952 no-mint Mark wheat penny was struck in Philadelphia, and on the surface, it looks like nothing more than spare change. It has the familiar wheat stalks on the reverse, and the proud profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front. But here's the secret: while millions were minted, only a fraction survived in pristine condition. Rarity, historical weight, and condition collide to create what investors now call million-dollar copper. The thought of a coin worth more than most luxury homes is electrifying. And the fear of having once held it and spent it unknowingly, that's the part that keeps collectors up at night. Have you ever bought a soda with a coin that might have been worth nearly $1 million? That thought alone should make you check your pocket change a little differently, but here's where Act 2 pulls you in. The value of this coin is not simply about scarcity, it's about timing, demand, and the mindset of those who want to live beyond average wealth. Every time one of these pennies surfaces at auction, bidding wars break out. Collectors and investors know the truth: old money is turning into new wealth. Prices don't just climb steadily, they leap. One sale ignites the next, each one higher than the last. It creates urgency, because no one wants to be the person who hesitated and missed their chance. Imagine sitting at an auction, the bidding hammer just seconds away from falling, and realizing you're watching history and fortune being made. This is not just about coins. It's about seizing opportunity when it strikes, and yes, there's excitement, but let's not pretend there isn't fear too. Fear that you've walked past your own financial breakthrough. Fear that while others are cashing in, you're still holding back. That's why now, more than ever, this coin is in demand. Every day, more people realize that these rare pieces of history are the golden tickets of our era. And the cliffhanger is this: the 1952 wheat penny is not the only coin hiding massive potential. But before I reveal which other coins are creating instant millionaires, let's go deeper into why this penny, this year, and this minting anomaly have captivated the wealthy. Act 3 brings us to the transformation. Owning or selling a coin like this is not just about financial gain. It's about rewriting your story. Imagine the freedom of knowing you've unlocked nearly $1 million from something that could have been rattling in a drawer. The lifestyle shift is enormous: debts paid off, businesses started, homes purchased, legacies built. And here's the exciting truth: people just like you are already stepping into this world. The wealthy didn't get there by chance, they recognized value where others saw none. That's exactly what this coin represents: the power of recognizing hidden wealth. But let me ask you a humorous question as we reset your focus for a moment. How many times have you tipped a waiter with pennies, never even looking at them? What if you gave away $1 million tip without realizing it? Funny to think about, but terrifying at the same time, isn't it? That's why this conversation is more urgent than ever. Coins like the 1952 no-mint Mark wheat penny are vanishing into private collections, never to be seen again. Every year, fewer opportunities remain. So what happens if you wait? If you say, maybe later? Prices will climb higher. Wealth will change hands. And those who acted boldly will step into the life you could have lived. That's the tension of this moment, the cliffhanger that keeps you leaning in. The next auction, the next discovery, could rewrite someone's destiny. The only question is, will it be yours? As we close, remember this: the story of the 1952 wheat penny is not just about copper and dates. It's about vision, courage, and the urgency to act before opportunities slip away. You're not watching this by accident. You're here because you're ready to think differently, to live differently, to embrace wealth where others see pocket change. And that, more than the coin itself, is the true secret to living the life of abundance you've always wanted. Stay tuned, because in the next video, I'll reveal another ordinary looking coin that's changing lives overnight, one that could already be sitting in your home. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Imagine, for just a moment, that the very coin resting in your old drawer, hidden in a jar, or tucked away in a forgotten album could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny, minted in Denver back in 1953, carrying the humble D mint mark, could change the trajectory of your financial story forever. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, you'll discover why collectors are paying extraordinary sums for this rare coin and how its current market value has climbed to an astounding $977,000. Now, let's step back in time, to the America of 1953. The country was recovering from war, the economy was shifting, and the wheat penny was quietly circulating in the hands of millions of Americans. To most, it was just 1 cent, a tiny piece of copper used to buy gum or candy. But hidden in this ocean of pennies were rare survivors, struck with remarkable precision, free of flaws, preserved in pristine condition, and destined to become icons in the world of numismatics. What separates an ordinary 1953 D penny from one worth a fortune? That's the mystery we're about to unravel. Here's the truth: rarity alone does not create value. Condition, demand, and historical significance collide to create a perfect storm. Picture this: only a handful of these coins exist in mint-state condition, untouched by circulation. The edges are sharp, the luster glows, and the wheat stalks on the reverse shine with crisp detail. Collectors and investors battle fiercely for such treasures, and in this battle, prices climb into the stratosphere. And as more Americans awaken to the hidden wealth buried in their coin jars, the demand grows hotter, turning an old penny into a gateway to unimaginable wealth. But here's where it gets truly fascinating and a little unsettling. Imagine tossing one of these rare coins into a vending machine without ever knowing its worth. It's happened before. A penny that could have secured generational wealth lost in exchange for a pack of gum. Fear of missing out is real, because while you're hesitating, someone else is cashing in. Think about it: what if the next time you look into your drawer, you realize you've been holding on to a nearly $1 million asset without even knowing? That's the urgency collectors feel, and it's why this market is booming with intensity. And before you think this is just about history, let's be clear: this is about opportunity. A 1953 D wheat penny in near-perfect condition has shattered auction records, and today, its market value hovers at a jaw-dropping $977,000. That is not a typo. Nearly $1 million for one coin that, at its birth, was worth a single cent. The upward trend is undeniable, and the stakes are high. Wealthy collectors are hunting relentlessly, dealers are driving prices higher, and ordinary people who stumble upon one of these coins are rewriting their financial destinies. But here's the cliffhanger: how do you know if your 1953 D penny is one of the elite? Not every coin will fetch these sums. The secret lies in the details: the shine of the luster, the absence of wear, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile. And here's the part most people miss: small errors, like misstrikes, can catapult the value even higher. One tiny flaw from the mint can multiply its price, transforming an already rare penny into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. So, ask yourself this: could the key to financial freedom, the pathway to the lifestyle you've dreamed of, already be hiding in your home? This is the moment where excitement collides with urgency, because waiting too long might mean watching values climb while you stand on the sidelines. The wealthy know this game well, and they're already moving. The question is, will you? And just before we close, let me reset your attention with this thought: people spend thousands chasing lottery tickets, hoping for a slim chance at winning big. But right now, you might already be holding your winning ticket, and it's not a piece of paper, it's a penny. A 1953 D wheat penny, worth $977,000 in today's market, and rising. So don't overlook the small, the ordinary, the forgotten. Sometimes, what seems like pocket change is the key to life-changing wealth. Stay curious, stay alert, and remember, every great fortune has a starting point, and for you, it might just be one remarkable penny. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary, so unassuming, that most people would pass it off as just another penny. But what if I told you that this small copper piece could secretly be worth close to $1 million? Yes, I'm talking about the legendary 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny, an unassuming coin that has become one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics. Today, we're going to uncover why this penny is rewriting financial destinies, how it skyrocketed to a current market value of $976,000, and why collectors and investors are in a frenzy to own one. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll understand why missing out on this coin could mean walking away from generational wealth. Let's start at the beginning. Act 1: The Ordinary World. The mid-1950s in America was a time of post-war prosperity, booming suburbs, and shiny new cars rolling off Detroit's assembly lines. People were focused on the future, not on the pennies jingling in their pockets. Yet in 1955, at the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary happened. An error during production created a unique coin, one that appeared to be nothing more than another wheat penny, but in reality, it carried a rarity so profound that collectors today are willing to pay astronomical sums for it. Imagine being a factory worker at the mint, casually watching pennies spill out, not realizing that one batch would one day be worth more than luxury mansions and rare art. Now, let's raise the stakes. Act 2: The Confrontation. Here's the truth: most people have no idea this penny exists, and even fewer realize its staggering value. Fear can creep in right here. How many times have you or someone you know tossed a handful of pennies into a jar, unknowingly discarding what could have been $1 million payday? That's the nightmare scenario for every coin enthusiast. But excitement kicks in because the very fact that these coins are out there means the hunt is still alive. Collectors worldwide are competing, auctions are heating up, and every time a 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark hits the market, bidding wars ignite. The last recorded sale pushed the value to a jaw-dropping $976,000, and demand is only climbing. Think about that: a single cent commanding nearly $1 million. That's not just rare, that's transformational, but here's where things get thrilling. Do you know what makes this coin so magnetic to collectors? It's not just the era or the year, it's the story it carries. Each coin is a piece of American history, a physical reminder that perfection doesn't always yield the greatest treasures. In fact, imperfection created the most valuable penny in circulation today. And here's a pattern interrupt for you: next time someone says, "A penny for your thoughts," maybe you should ask for the 1955 wheat penny instead. Trust me, your thoughts would be worth a lot more after that exchange. As we transition into Act 3, the resolution, let me leave you on the edge of your seat. Imagine opening a drawer, flipping through a family coin collection, and finding one of these hidden gems. How would it feel knowing you're holding a ticket to financial freedom, a coin that could change your lifestyle forever? Would you keep it as a legacy piece, or cash in on nearly $1 million and step into a wealthier tomorrow? That's the cliffhanger every coin hunter lives with, and it's what keeps this market so electric. The truth is, opportunities like this are not infinite. With every auction, with every coin that disappears into private collections, the chances of finding or owning a 1955 no mint mark wheat penny grow slimmer. That's why urgency is your ally. Right now, collectors are paying top dollar, and the market is showing no signs of slowing. Missing this wave could mean watching fortunes slip away while others ride into prosperity. So here's the takeaway: wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes it lies hidden in the most overlooked corners of our lives: a dusty coin jar, an inherited collection, a forgotten envelope tucked away in the attic. The 1955 no mint mark wheat penny proves that even the smallest object can carry the weight of a millionaire's fortune. And if you're watching this right now, it means you're already ahead of the crowd. You know what to look for. You know what's at stake. As we close, remember this: greatness often hides in plain sight. The question is, will you recognize it when it's in your hands? Because 1 cent could be the difference between ordinary living and extraordinary wealth. Stay curious, stay inspired, and never underestimate the power of what you hold. Here's a polished YouTube script written in narrative form, not bullets, designed for a faceless video with authority, suspense, and emotional engagement. Imagine for just a moment that the small copper penny resting in the palm of your hand could be worth more than the house you live in, more than the car you drive, and perhaps even more than your retirement savings combined. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet right here in the United States, one coin, the 1955 mint mark wheat penny, has ignited the dreams of collectors, investors, and fortune seekers. A coin so unassuming, so ordinary at first glance, yet one specimen recently commanded a jaw-dropping market value of $977,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a single penny. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this coin is so highly prized, why demand is surging, and why missing out on this knowledge could mean missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The story of the 1955 DeWitt penny is not just about metal and minting. It's a story about rarity, about human error turned into a golden opportunity, and about how the smallest details can unlock unimaginable wealth. In 1955, the Denver Mint struck millions of wheat cents, but within those production runs, anomalies and near-perfect specimens emerged. The world of numismatics thrives on these hidden treasures, coins with tiny differences, pristine conditions, or mysterious origins. While most people tossed pennies into drawers, jars, or children's piggy banks, a select few coins became legends. This is one of them. Imagine the irony: what many dismissed as spare change is now a passport to luxury living. It makes you wonder how many people unknowingly spent a fortune on a candy bar decades ago. Now, before you lean back too far, let me jolt you with this question: have you checked your old pennies lately? Because the clock is ticking. Wealth is not always about what you earn, sometimes it's about what you discover. The collector's market is heating up faster than ever. Wealthy investors, hedge fund managers, and high-profile collectors are now chasing these coins with the same intensity they chase rare art, diamonds, or vintage cars. Why? Because the 1955 DeWitt penny is not just currency, it's a statement of legacy, power, and prestige. And when millionaires compete, values soar. That's why this coin is now touching nearly $1 million valuation, but here's where it gets even more thrilling. Coins like this aren't just for museums or locked in private vaults. They surface at estate sales, in old family collections, or tucked away in dusty boxes forgotten in attics. One day it's pocket change, the next it's a seven-figure ticket to freedom. And let's be honest, doesn't that thought spark a rush of adrenaline? Imagine stumbling upon such a penny and realizing your financial future changed in an instant. That is the magic of numismatics, and it is happening right now. Of course, what makes the 1955 D penny so irresistible is its dual story: history on one side, opportunity on the other. The wheat design marks an era of American craftsmanship and pride. The Denver Mint mark adds regional significance. And the rarity of surviving high-grade examples cements its position as one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. Collectors don't just want it, they crave it. It's the jewel that validates their passion, their status, their pursuit of greatness. And for sellers, that craving means one thing: higher bids, record-breaking auctions, and life-changing paydays. Now pause for a moment. Picture the auction room, the gavel poised, the air tense, the room electric with anticipation. Bidders exchange glances, hands twitch, hearts race. The bidding rises, surpasses $500,000, and finally nears the $1 million mark. And when the hammer falls, the new owner walks away not with a penny, but with a masterpiece. That, my friends, is the moment where history and wealth intersect. And here's the cliffhanger: do you realize how close you might be to holding one of these coins yourself? Let me reset your attention with a bit of humor. Isn't it crazy that in a world where we complain about pennies cluttering our wallets, one penny is out there buying a luxury yacht? The very coin you might have dropped under the couch cushions could one day outbid a Lamborghini. That's not a joke, it's reality. And it's why ignoring the value of these coins is not just careless, it's costly. So what does this mean for you? It means opportunity is right at your fingertips. The demand for the 1955 DeWitt penny is climbing. Wealthy collectors are not slowing down, and the prices are only moving in one direction: up. If you have one, you're holding a fortune. If you don't, you still have the chance to search, to discover, and to participate in this electrifying market. But time matters, because coins age, collections get claimed, and opportunities vanish. In the end, the story of the 1955 DeWitt penny is about far more than copper and engraving. It's about the astonishing truth that value often hides in plain sight. It's about ordinary Americans finding extraordinary wealth in the most unlikely places. And it's about you right now, deciding whether you'll be the one who acts, the one who looks, the one who refuses to let opportunity slip away. So here's the final word: somewhere out there, perhaps in your home, perhaps in your family collection, there could be a penny worth nearly $1 million. In the world of wealth and legacy, sometimes the smallest treasures carry the largest fortunes. Imagine, for a moment, that sitting quietly in a forgotten jar in your drawer is a coin worth nearly $1 million. A coin that millions of Americans have once spent casually on candy, newspapers, or a stick of gum, But today, the 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny has become a symbol of rarity, of destiny, and of opportunity. If you think a penny cannot change your financial future, this story is about to prove you wrong. The truth is, many people overlook coins from the 1950s, assuming they're too common to matter. But let me tell you, hidden in those copper rounds is a fortune waiting to be unlocked. And the 1956 wheat penny, with no mint mark, is the crown jewel. Its current market value sits at an extraordinary $975,000, yes, nearly $1 million for a single cent. Now, let me ask you, how many times have you emptied your pockets, tossing aside a penny like it meant nothing? What if one of those pennies held the power to change your life? Here's where the story begins. Picture the 1950s America, the post-war boom, the golden age of cars, diners, and rock and roll. While families gathered at drive-ins, the U.S. Mint was quietly producing wheat pennies that would, decades later, ignite the imaginations of collectors worldwide. Most 1956 pennies circulated without fanfare, but rare survivors in pristine condition, with no mint mark, hold a mystique so powerful that collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million to own one. That's not just a coin, it's a ticket to generational wealth. And here's the exciting part, these coins still appear in private collections, estate sales, and yes, even tucked away in family coin jars, but why are they worth so much? The answer lies in a perfect storm of scarcity and demand. You see, collectors aren't just buying copper, they're buying history. They're buying the story of America in the 1950s, frozen in time, preserved in a small piece of metal. And here's where urgency enters the picture. Every year, more of these coins disappear into private vaults, never to resurface. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances of finding one, and the higher the value climbs. Think about it, if you had the chance to hold something worth nearly $1 million in the palm of your hand, would you let it slip away? And now, before you race off to check your coin jars, let me throw a curveball. What if I told you that most people walk right past their fortune without even knowing it? Yes, condition matters. Yes, rarity matters. But here's the surprising twist, even circulated versions of the 1956 wheat penny can still command incredible premiums. It's not just about finding the perfect coin, it's about recognizing the opportunity in front of you. And speaking of opportunity, let's break the tension for a moment. Have you ever thought about how many people spend hundreds of dollars on shoes, yet ignore the pennies lying on the ground? Imagine if every time you bent down to pick one up, it was secretly worth the price of a mansion. Now, here's the cliffhanger, how do you know if the penny in your possession is the one collectors dream about? In a moment, I'll reveal the key details to look for, and trust me, missing this could cost you a fortune. But before that, let's connect the dots. The reason these coins have skyrocketed to a $975,000 valuation is simple, collectors know they're running out of time. The wealthy don't just wait for opportunities, they seize them. This is your chance to understand what they already know, that even the humblest coin can hold the promise of luxury, freedom, and a legacy that lasts beyond your lifetime. Now let's return to the question, what exactly should you look for in a 1956 wheat penny? The answer lies in its lack of a mint mark, its flawless luster, and its sharp strike. The tiniest details, like the clarity of Lincoln's profile, or the crisp definition of the wheat stalks, are what elevate it from pocket change to priceless artifact. And here's the reality, professional graders and collectors are scouring every auction, every private sale, every dusty coin roll, trying to capture these pieces before they disappear forever. Will you be the one who discovers the next $1 million penny, or will you let the chance pass to someone else? The clock is ticking, and the demand is only climbing. Right now, the 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny is more than just money, it's a status symbol. Owning one places you among a select circle of visionaries who saw the value before the world caught up. And just imagine, as the bidding wars intensify, as collectors battle to outpay each other, how much higher this coin could soar in the next decade. So, the story closes with one question that only you can answer, is your future fortune already hiding in plain sight? That penny you almost ignored, that coin your grandparents set aside, that small copper disc resting quietly in your possession, could be worth $975,000 today, and perhaps even more tomorrow. The opportunity is here. The only question is, will you act before it's gone? Imagine finding a simple penny in your collection, or even tucked away in an old drawer, that could be worth nearly $1 million today. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin, the 1956 wheat penny, with its humble face value of 1 cent, now carries a staggering market valuation of $973,000. This is not just about money. This is about legacy, wealth, and the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to turn something ordinary into extraordinary. And if you think it can't happen to you, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this coin is one of the most coveted treasures in the world of numismatics. Act 1 begins with the origin story of the 1956 Dewey penny. Struck in Denver, this coin was created during a time when America was on the brink of great cultural change. What makes it remarkable is not just its age but the small imperfections, subtle details, and rare qualities that collectors crave. Millions of these pennies were minted, but only a fraction carry the qualities that elevate them into the realm of near-million-dollar collectibles. Here's the twist: the average person assumes pennies are worthless, mere pocket change. But to dismiss this coin is like ignoring a golden ticket hidden in plain sight. Imagine throwing away what could be your entry into a wealthy lifestyle. That thought alone should make you pause and reconsider what might already be in your possession. Now, as we transition into Act 2, let's dive deeper into why the 1956 Dewey penny commands such extraordinary value. Rarity is only part of the story. Condition, minting anomalies, and historical demand turn this coin into a powerhouse of value. High-grade, pristine versions with the D-Mint mark are so rare that auction houses compete fiercely to acquire them. Collectors with deep pockets are willing to pay astronomical sums because they understand the coin's scarcity and cultural significance. Here's where the urgency sets in: demand is skyrocketing, and coins like this are disappearing into private collections faster than ever before. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances of ever owning or selling one for such life-changing sums. And here's a question for you: how many times have you walked past loose change, dismissing it as junk? What if that casual indifference cost you a fortune? As we continue, here's a pattern interrupt for you. If pennies could talk, the 1956 D would probably laugh at us, saying, "You ignored me for decades, but now I'm the star of the show." It's ironic, isn't it? The smallest coin in circulation, often left behind in jars or under couch cushions, has become the ultimate symbol of wealth in the world of coin collecting. And here's the cliffhanger: while we're discussing this particular penny, there are even rarer errors and varieties linked to the 1956 D that could push its value even higher. But I'll reveal that twist in just a moment. Act 3 brings us to the emotional climax, the transformational power of owning or selling a coin like this. For the individual who discovers such a treasure, it's not just about financial gain. It's about rewriting their story, stepping into a lifestyle of security, luxury, and freedom. Imagine paying off debts instantly, investing in properties, or creating generational wealth for your family, all triggered by a coin that once jingled in someone's pocket in 1956. The stakes are real, and the rewards are extraordinary. And here's where urgency collides with opportunity: these coins are not just highly demanded, they are aggressively pursued. Collectors know that time erodes opportunities, and once these rare coins are locked away in vaults, they may not reappear for decades. And now, let me circle back to that cliffhanger. Some 1956 Dewey pennies contain rare die errors, minute imperfections during the minting process, that catapult their value even higher. These varieties are the true golden needles in the haystack, coins that collectors chase with near obsession. If you own one, or even think you might, getting it appraised could be the smartest financial decision of your life. So ask yourself, do you want to be the person who looked back and said, "I could have had it," or the one who stepped forward and claimed the life-changing wealth that was right in front of them? The truth is clear: coins like the 1956 Dewey penny are more than collectibles. They are opportunities disguised as everyday objects, gateways to a wealthier, more secure, more powerful life. This isn't just about numismatics. It's about possibility. And your story could be the next one that inspires others. So, before you dismiss the jar of pennies or that box of coins in your attic, remember this: one of them could hold the key to $1 million transformation. Check, verify, and act now, because opportunities like this don't wait.